Hello, Fantastic Beasts fans. In just a few hours, we're getting our third and final trailer. But today, in anticipation, the filmmakers released 9 character posters, which offer several tantalizing clues, especially for the ending. I'm Susan Chappell with Fantastic Secrets Behind Fantastic Beasts to bring you the clues. Join me and other Fantastic Beasts fans here on the Beast Chaser Forum as we uncover the secrets, discover what's coming first, and play along with Rolling's newest game. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you'll be notified when videos post and won't miss out on the next clues. As I'm noting in every video now, with the richness of detail that has been released, there may be spoilers ahead, so proceed here and in the comments below with caution. So many new images have come our way over the last several days. Before we get the delightful onslaught of the new trailer, I thought I'd go over some of these images briefly and what they hint at. Before we begin, I want to thank Dalton Perkinson for putting together this Padlet of Crimes of Grindelwald visuals. I hope you'll find this display interesting, especially as we add more images in upcoming videos. I'll put more information in the pinned comment below about Dalton and this Padlet in case you're interested in seeing more. So each of the main characters, with one notable exception, had a poster released today. First up, we have Newt with Pickett hiding in his coat, and in the scrollwork symbol at the bottom, Newt's tagline is, "Wanted for questioning." Then we have Tina with the Eiffel Tower and "On for an assignment." I'm wondering 2 things about Tina's. One, as I've speculated before, could the French Ministry of Magic be hidden inside or under the Eiffel Tower? The fact that the Eiffel Tower is displayed so prominently in all the promotional material and that it's on Tina's poster with her on assignment makes me feel even stronger that the tower has to be in some way associated with the ministry. Second, we were told in set reports that Tina was in Paris searching for Credence without MACUSA authorization, but I doubt she's presenting herself that way to the French ministry. Could she be letting them think she's there on official capacity? Then we get to Queenie, she who's hiding great secrets. In her poster, we see her engagement ring, which is probably the reason behind her sudden turn to Grindelwald, and the tagline, "Whereabouts unknown." And Jacob, his says, "No match of interest," and shows a croissant. Wonder if he'll get to do any baking in Paris, and if he's going to be implicated in Newt's probably illegal entry into France. Next up is Theseus. With his Ministry of Magic logo and his under-ministry orders, I'm betting he's been sent to track down and possibly arrest his vagrant younger brother. Lita's, however, is the most intriguing. Her symbol is the raven, or crow, which we've become very familiar with. However, her tagline is "implicated by prophecy." I'm betting this prophecy is in reference to those powers we've been talking about in several videos, the ones that got Lita and Credence sent away from France at a very young age. I'll discuss more about this prophecy in a bit. And so we come to Credence. His tagline is "searching for identity," and his symbol is a splayed hand and what is probably the sun. With that hand symbol also appearing in rhinestones on his jacket, I'm betting anything Credence's circus act is shooting smoke out of his hand, an idea prompted by bestiary in this tweet. But I think there's also a subtext reason for the hand symbolism. The hamsa is a Middle Eastern good luck charm or an object based on apotropaic magic, the ability to avert the evil eye. It's worn for protection, and Credence surely needs a lot of that right now. Notice that this hamsa also has the triangular Eye of Providence in the palm, almost like the Deathly Hallows, but I'll explore more about this in a later video. We're missing Credence's partner, Maledictus. Very interesting. So then we come to Dumbledore. His symbol is the phoenix, and his tagline is "under surveillance." I'm guessing the ministry is watching him because of his past connections with Newt in the US and possibly his connection to Credence being sent there as a boy, which we discussed in a prior video. As for the Phoenix, we'll get to that in a bit. Finally, we have Grindelwald. His tagline is Dark Wizard at Large, but this version of his skull is most intriguing. Look at the pipe. My immediate thought when seeing this is that it's sending out smoky fumes. And when you pair it with these other new images released recently, Rise Up and Take Our Rightful Place, you get a very strong indication of the skull being used to release spirits, just as we've been speculating about the opening of a supernatural portal for many weeks. Even before these character posters, we were getting lots of new images. Universe Harry Potter sent me this wonderful clipping of another version of the card that Dumbledore hands to Newt when he tells him, "It has to be you." This one is concept art from Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts, a spellbinding guide to the films. I plan to cover the alchemy symbol in greater detail in an upcoming video, but for now, I want to say that this concept art, clearly intended as a calling card for Nicholas Flamel, has made me revise my earlier theory on the role of Millicent. I linked her to the trailer version of the symbol, which is somewhat different, and from that to an alchemy experiment that I feel is happening within Crimes of Grindelwald. Millicent may not be as involved in the experiment as I previously thought. That will most likely be totally Flamel, who also figured in my prior theory. However, I still believe that Millicent and her Madigo cats will play a role in guarding the portal to the supernatural realm. Several of the next images came by way of a set of posters released online. I saw them from so many sources that I can't credit one. However, I wish to thank Luca for directing my attention to the video for Luma support, which includes brief new snippets of Newt, Lita, Grindelwald, and Flamel. To make sense of some of these posters and images, I'd like to try to construct my theory of a timeline of events of the climax sequence. First, it seems that everyone is making their way to the Père Lachaise cemetery that holds the Lestrange mausoleum and the underground amphitheater, though probably with different agendas. We see Credence and Maledictus creeping along the tombstones, Theseus leading a band of what may be ministry officials below what may be Grindelwald's cohorts above, and then at some point, Jacob enters the Lestrange mausoleum, more particularly the crematorium, apparently alone. Maybe earlier, maybe later, we see Yusuf Kama in the same room, apparently confronting Lita with Tina off to the side. We'd already identified this room before as the location where she said to Newt, "You never met a monster you couldn't love." Now about this room, notice these coffins off to the side on Jacob's left. We've seen them before, being carried about by Grindelwald's men. Most assumed he was hunting for his skull, but what if Grindelwald was stockpiling bodies inside the mausoleum? But why? Is it possible that these are important witches and wizards that Grindelwald wishes to resurrect when he opens the portal to the dead? Will we see these bodies come to life? And why store bodies in the crematorium that holds cremations, not bodies? Now, notice this other image of what may be Abernathy in this crematorium earlier and where he's looking. Now compare it to the smaller poster image we have of Kama confronting Lita. Notice this open space and fire in the background, in the same direction where Abernathy seemed to have made a discovery. Did Kama get to the mausoleum before Lita and Tina? And did he find the final Lestrange secret he's been hunting? Is he confronting Lita with the monstrous secrets her family has been hiding and her own inner demons, something born of that prophecy that has haunted her life? And will this newly revealed secret be the crux of what is happening in the next segment of the climax sequence, the amphitheater? Probably individually or in twos, the team has infiltrated the amphitheater to spy on Grindelwald's gathering. After some cataclysmic revelation, and most of Grindy's supporters have dispersed, a confrontation occurs with Grindelwald beckoning to Lita to join his side, probably based on the prophecy that is her destiny, which she refuses, quite forcefully, but he easily deflects her spell. And then, in his anger, he confronts Newt and Theseus with that spell. But instead of Theseus being killed, as I supposed earlier, what if something happens to Lita? Here's the thing. We see Lita in the mausoleum. We see her in the amphitheater, but we don't see her in what is most likely the battle in the graveyard that follows. Why? Has she been killed, or has she been transformed? My guess is that after Grindelwald casts a spell, chaos erupts and everyone flees upward into the graveyard and the final battle, where they face the fiery dragon released by Grindelwald's skull. I previously thought that this dragon may have related to Lita, or Lita and Credence combined, but in the graveyard scene, we see just as much red smoke and fire as blue, especially around the brother Scamander, and Lita wears a very distinctive shade of blood red. Has her inner monster finally burst its bond, and is she giving battle to the fiery dragon instead of becoming it? Is it possible that a transformed Lita is flying above, battling the fiery dragon to protect the brothers? And Newt looks so tormented because he doesn't know how to shoot at Grindelwald's dragon without hitting Lita. It is possible that the image of the beast in the center of the screenplay cover that I first thought was a dragon and then thought was a Zou is indeed a dragon or monster, but one that is Lita transformed. And then here's where it gets really interesting. In an earlier video, I showed you a great catch from Dalton Perkinson that when Newt, Lita, Theseus, and Yusuf Kama shoot at the fiery dragon, their spells seem to combine to form a phoenix. What is really cool is that Dragon Master had the bright idea to slow down my slow-mo, which showed the phoenix even better. Dragon Master also pointed out that on the screenplay cover, you see what may be phoenixes on the Eiffel Tower pointing towards the dragons in the sky, as if they are aimed toward them. I'd also like to point out that these dragons in the corner are entangled with thestrals. Putting those two images together makes me feel strongly now that this fiery dragon, like the thestrals, is related to death, to Grindelwald and his skull, and the phoenix, the bird of eternal life, is the antidote. But the biggest question I have now is, where is the phoenix coming from? The most likely explanation is what I just stated, that it's a joint spell shot by the four below. But we have a newly released image of Flamel in the graveyard shooting a spell upward, and when you put this image of the brother Scamander next to the appearance of Flamel, you see the pillars match. Flamel is just directly above them and to the left. Is the cavalry coming to save the day, battling magical dragons like only an alchemist can? And are they trying to get to Flamel as he provides cover? Is Flamel shooting the phoenix spell? Or is there another alchemist present, one we've not seen revealed in this setting? Could Dumbledore suddenly apparate in? After all, we know he and Flamel were in communication, and it is his character poster that has the phoenix in its corner. Rowling said earlier Monday in her appearance on the Today Show that these movies are largely about how Dumbledore became Dumbledore. However, there could be another Dumbledore connection to the Phoenix, even if Dumbledore is not there. Perhaps the Phoenix spell we're witnessing is Newt's Patronus, and perhaps Rowling said it had to be a secret because it would give away the profound effect Dumbledore had on his young student years before when he nurtured him in his love of beasts and protected him from getting expelled. Perhaps the Phoenix Patronus is a special bond between the two. I know there's speculation about Newt's Patronus being a Kelpie because of these mug images, which I wondered about earlier as well, but it's just not sitting right with me with Tina's image being a governmental logo. And if Tina's is not a Patronus, then I don't think Queenie's and Newt's are either. If Newt's Patronus is the Phoenix, though, I have a feeling it will change as the series progresses. For now, whether this Phoenix spell is shot by the team, Flamel, Dumbledore, or Newt, it's obviously crucial. I look forward to seeing more hints of it in the upcoming trailer, which is due in just a few hours. Be sure to come back here later in the day, as I'll have a trailer breakdown video just as soon as I can get one ready. So what do you think? How will the graveyard and amphitheater scenes be sequenced? And do you think Dumbledore will make a surprise appearance? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Also, please check out my new fan shop on Amazon for books and Funko Pops and wands and all things Fantastic Beasts.